going on, guys? So, I'm gonna let the intro of the game play and I'm gonna give you my review of Vampire Masquerade Swansong. So I was lucky enough to receive an advanced copy of the game. This came in a great time for me. I took some time off of work, pretty burned out on Elden Ring, and there wasn't really any other games on my radar. Probably would have skipped this game. They didn't send me a code, so I got real lucky. They call it a narrative RPG, so it's gotta focus on story. But you also can upgrade supernatural abilities that are gonna help you explore the environment or help you get an edge in a dialogue. So you're gonna get to play 3 different vampires, Gallop, Leia, and MMO. All 3 have different personalities and perspectives on the events in the game. So, and you don't have to just pick just one, the game will automatically switch you throughout the story between the 3 characters. And the way it starts is all 3 get recalled to their vampire base by their leader, which they call Prince. Her name is Hazel Iverson and if you don't know, a swan song is either a song of great sweetness said to be sung by a dying swan or a farewell appearance or final actor pronouncement. So that's gonna give you some foreshadowing to the story, which is gonna happen over a few days, but it's really dense with the events. Alright, so the recall, what they call a code red, is called because of an attack on a vampire party by humans. So this means the Masquerade has been violated. The Masquerade, being the term vampire, is used for the hiding of the existence of vampires from humans. So the beginning's gonna act as an introduction to all 3 characters, the supporting characters, and then just the game lore in general. They're gonna throw a lot at you in the beginning, but as you play, it starts to become more clear. And then you get to learn more about the characters. The game even has a tab for the lore and the character bios, which I recommend checking out. I could tell that they put a lot of work into it. So one of the cool things about creating a vampire character is you get to be creative. You get to go back in time, give them an interesting, long checkered past with all their interactions through big historical events. And then I could just tell that they did some good research, so I would stop by and check those out. As you meet the characters, just stop and read a little bit at a time. Don't just do it all at once. And this is also gonna help you later. You're gonna have a better idea who these people are and then how to deal with them in conversations. So Swansong, it really focuses on story through dialogue and exploration. So it's right up my alley. I really like these games that have attention to detail, so we gotta approach each level slowly and carefully. You should read all the documents left out for you because you just don't know what clues they can provide for you. Some could give you a hint to a safe combo. Some can be the hidden motives of another vampire that you could lose use later. If not, they could still give you more context to the environment and the story, and just world building in general. So there's gonna be a good amount of safe, so you're gonna have to figure out the codes or laptop passwords. Some are more obvious than others, some might require you to figure out a puzzle first. For the most part, they weren't too hard, but I think I made them hard by overthinking a lot of them to just try to keep it simple. Some of them they could have probably put more context or additional clues to get you in the ballpark. There is an elevator puzzle that was a nightmare during an MM sequence. I don't know if my brain just isn't wired that way or what, but it just took me forever. I'll upload a guide to that when I get a chance. Another element I really liked is that after you complete a level, it tells you what you did right, what you could have done differently, and what you missed. As someone who doesn't want to miss anything, I'd like to know right away. Then I can go back and fix it and then move on. The game gives you an option to redo levels. You just have to go back to the main menu. But this also can be frustrating because there was times when I thought I covered everything, and then I saw that I missed something or I failed something, and I was like, I saw at one point I just said, I'm just gonna keep going and then come back later. I was kind of hoping there was a new game plus where I was able to keep all the skill points that I got and then start from the beginning. But I didn't, unless you know I missed it. I don't think you can do that. You're gonna have to do each level with what you got. So there is a benefit of redoing levels because you know what to expect, so you have a better idea of where to allocate your points. So that just shows you again the importance of attention to detail when you play these levels. They were designed to be played multiple times so you can't get too frustrated. And some levels you do have to choose between one of 2 options, so you can't do everything in one run. Anything else? Not right now, because you switch between 3 different characters. It keeps the action moving. It doesn't get too boring. I think they do a good job of mixing up the levels. So at one level, you'll be focusing on a crime scene investigation, and then another on infiltrating the enemy base. One of my favorite levels was with Gallop. So when you're inside the enemy base, you can take out 3 of the leaders in a very Hitman-qua fashion. so using disguises, setting up the circumstances for their assassination. Then later on, you have we'll say an interesting interaction with a werewolf that was added. I think that was a nice touch, without spoiling too much. So a big part of the game is dialogue. A lot of the story is revealed through conversations with the other characters. You have to choose what skills to operate that will give you the advantage and unlock special dialogue, and then help you win confrontations. Confrontations are a big part of the game. You're only allowed a few misses, 1 or 2. And if you mess up, you can't just start over. You're gonna just have to live with losing that confrontation. And then the story ramifications. I would suggest if it's not going your way, you could quit to the main menu and then hit continue from there. And then it'll usually take you to the beginning of the confrontation so you can try to pick a different option, something that works better. So being able to replay a level. It's very helpful when you know what specific dialogue skill's gonna be most useful. So as you might need more rhetoric, persuasion, or intimidation. It can be confusing at first, but as you play, it becomes more clear. It's not as complicated as you would think. Alright, so the game was put out by Big Bad Wolf Studio, which to my knowledge isn't a huge company, so they don't have the big bucks of a big studio. So the 3D models are not the best. They're a little stiff and unnatural. You get some crazy eyes here and there, but for the most part, I think especially with the main 3 characters, they look pretty good. I did have a little of a matrix-like glitch for but only for a short period. Usually if you just quit to the main menu and come back, it'll be gone. There is a really cool view of this city that looks nice that you can check out at the vampire base. Also, the sound can vary. It could be real low and then go high, randomly, like during the same conversation. And then sometimes it'll just go mute for brief periods. But again, you could just quick to the main menu and then continue, and then it's usually fixed. Alright, so overall I'd recommend a game, especially if you look a good story. To me, this could be a good Netflix show. If they put in the episodes, the technical stuff I talked about, that doesn't really bother me. You know, especially since the bigger companies with games like Fall or Assassin's Creed will pretty much have the same problems. So that's a wrap in my review. Let me know if you agree or if there's anything I missed. I'm gonna make a tips video next and link it to the end of this video. So look forward at the end. Thanks for watching. Bye.